Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Evil Within AKUMU difficulty walkthrough. This is Chapter 8, one of the easier chapters in the game. There's actually an achievement for getting through this entire level without shooting your weapon. That is something that is doable, but it's probably a bit easier if you do it on on a different playthrough besides AKUMU. Now, you're going to come to this area here. There's going to be a few alter egos lying around, and there's going to be one right here by the fence. So you have a couple options here. You can kill all these guys. So you see right here, I tried to get them to group together. I threw a grenade, and somehow the game decided to just rob me of what should have been a grand explosion. So the alter egos typically go down pretty fast with a sniper rifle. So in all honesty, I'll be completely honest, Chapter 8 is a level that I probably should have re-recorded. I think I just wasted too much ammo. Like, I did not have to kill these guys. I used a grenade, I used an explosive bolt, now I'm using my pistol. I think I used more ammo than I needed to. But, such is life. Sometimes strategies are not perfect. But you can feel free to approach it differently. Like I said, you can completely get through this level without shooting your weapon. So basically what you would have done is you would have lured all four of those alter egos to the back end of this room here, and then if you run away from them, you can break down this fence and run through. The problem is on AKUMU mode, there's going to be one lying on the ground, and then there's going to be two at the end of this hallway. So things do get significantly harder, which is why that's kind of why I just recommend taking all these guys out. So you see right here, this guy's coming at me now. Sure, I could have just, I can lure him out here and, run around him, but I just said, you know what, I think my life's going to be a lot easier if I just take the time to kill these guys. Now, the reason I'm using my pistol is just because I'm at least, even though I am spending more ammo than I need to here, I'm trying to use the ammo that's the least important to me. So I'm trying to use the pistol instead of the shotgun or the sniper rifle, because those are weapons that are really going to come in handy in chapters 10 and 11. So you got to kind of pick your battles. But anyway, there you go. Finally got the headshot. Now there's going to be one more, actually. Yeah, that's not the end of it. So, like I said. Alright, that was a longer yawn than I anticipated. Like I said, there's numerous ways you can approach this, but you'll see here I'm going to come to this room now. There's going to be another one waiting for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to take him out as fast as possible. Somehow that sniper didn't do the trick, so I'll go ahead and finish him off with the pistol. So, in the end, yeah, more ammo than I would have liked to spend, but it was a pretty safe approach. And like I said, if you want, you can try to lure them all away. The problem here is that there's a gate in front of me, and it takes a while to open the gate, so you really do have to lure them kind of far away before you can even attempt to open this gate. So I gotta say, one of the coolest things that I've been seeing from this walkthrough is a lot of people have been leaving comments saying that after watching me play, they actually want to revisit this game and play it on AKUMU mode for themselves. And I gotta say, that's fantastic. To have that response out of one of my walkthroughs, that's a dream come true. To kind of inspire other people to do these challenges, to approach these challenges, that's really cool. So all I can say is, if you're thinking about it, I definitely encourage it. I've said this numerous times, but AKUMU mode is more than just getting a trophy. It's more than just unlocking the brass knuckles. Beating this game on AKUMU mode is truly something special. You truly walk away feeling like you've accomplished something, and I think that is rare in video games. I can honestly say, like, with Uncharted, Uncharted is my favorite gaming franchise of all time. I've played every single game and I've beaten every single game on its hardest difficulty setting, but it's always just felt like something I needed to do to get the platinum, to get the platinum trophy. I can't honestly say that I ever felt truly satisfied after beating a game on the hardest difficulty. And it's not that it was easy, it's just it's very hard for me to put into words what it is that makes this game different. It just is. It really just is. To say that you got through this game without taking any damage, it's it's a really cool feeling. So if you're thinking about revisiting this game for an Akumu mode playthrough, I definitely encourage it. Of course, feel free to reference my walkthrough as much as you need to, but now is really the perfect time because the second one is going to be coming out in a little over a month, and so now is a good time to start prepping. Alright, and so I'm going to come back to that point, but before I do, you're going to have to fight these little, like, baby monsters here. Best way to kill these guys is just to run over them. Now the problem is you really want to try to run on top of them as quickly as possible, because if you wait too long, they'll start jumping around really fast, and if they hit you, you're going to die. So it's really hard. Believe it or not, it actually took me like 7 tries to do. The reason I decided to do it like this, so again, they're going to start spawning right here. Just run around like crazy, run in tight circles, and try to stomp on them before they have time to start jumping around. If one of them does happen to start jumping around, try to get as far away from it as possible, and then just try shooting it with your pistol. So that's what you're going to see me doing here. This guy, you can see just how fast he moves. I didn't think I'd have time to stomp him, so I just decided to take him out with a gun. Now, keep in mind, when I looked up walkthroughs, I wanted to see how other people approached this section. Every walkthrough I saw, everyone just used bolts. Everyone used like flash bolts to kill those things. So that's kind of the benefit here is earlier I used a lot more ammo than I wanted to, so in this part I wanted to show you that you can in fact get through this room without spending any ammo. Or I guess I did spend 1 pistol shot, but that's okay. In the grand scheme of things, that's fine. And now the rest of the level is pretty much just going to be that. There's going to be a couple alter egos walking around. There's going to be a few more of those baby things. You can just sprint past them, or you can shoot them with the pistol, whatever you feel most comfortable doing. So feel free to watch what I do. But all in all, this chapter is really easy, and you're already past the hardest part. So just keep on going. And so anyway, back to my point. If you are considering playing this game on Akumu, there is one piece of advice I'll give you. And real quick, there's going to be a key in this little waterfall right here, so make sure you don't miss that. It's kind of hard to see. The number one piece of advice I'll give you is that if you do decide to start a playthrough on Akumu mode, make sure you're going to have the time to fully see the game through. So if you're in a place in your life right now where you can only play video games on Thursday nights and that's it, I would not recommend doing Akumu mode. You have to play this game all in one go. And I don't know how to word it. Not obviously in one go, but like if you start your Akumu walkthrough or playthrough, you're going to want to finish it in about a week to 2 weeks. And that's because this game is just really hard and the mechanics are kind of stiff. And so, you know, there are some games that you can play and then you can put the game down for a month, and then if you come back to it, it feels like you never even left the game. This is not one of those games. So if you start your playthrough on Akumu, you're going to want to make sure you have enough time to finish it. So if you have to set aside, you know, 2 hours every day to try it or whatever your schedule allows, just make sure you have enough time to actually see it through. Because I promise you that if you play Chapter 1 and then you put the game down and then you play Chapter 2 a week later, then you put it down again and play Chapter 3 in 4 or 5 days, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough because you're going to just get reacquainted with the mechanics is hard enough. To do it in such an unforgiving difficulty, it's going to be hard. So that's probably the biggest piece of advice I can give anyone that is considering doing an Akumu playthrough. But like I said, I highly recommend it. It's worth it. It's worth the trouble. It's worth the stress. It truly is a great gaming experience. I guess I should say it's only a great experience if you end up beating it. If you don't beat it, you're going to be pretty frustrated, I guess. But like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. I truly believe that. So anyway, you see there's a couple of the babies running around, so I'm just kind of putting some distance, and then I'm going in for a quick run, stomp as many as I can, then run away, make sure none of them are left. So you see there's one left right here. Stomp him, run away, make sure the area is clear, and then as soon as I can confirm there are no more of those little guys, so you see right there were 2 more. So it's hard, especially with the water here, because it's just harder to see them. So you got to be careful. But anyway, with all of them now out of the way, you are free to keep progressing through the level. And that'll pretty much be it. That's all the challenge that Chapter 8 has to offer. And like I've said in the past videos, Chapter 9 is pretty easy. Chapter 10 is tough. Probably the second toughest chapter in the game. Chapter 11 is tough, at least I think so. I know that when I looked online before I started this game, I searched online like what people thought were the hardest chapters, and 11 didn't seem to come up too much. But that was not the case for me. 11 was pretty tough for me. I'll definitely admit to that. Chapter 12 is not bad, and then 13, 14, and 15 are all pretty simple. So we're almost done, believe it or not. Chapter 10 is really the last challenge we have to face, and then Chapter 11, sure, it's tough, but nowhere near as tough as 6 and 10. Alright, so this puzzle here, just go ahead and insert the tile so that the clean side is showing. In case you're wondering why that is, you can see that this poor soul on the left got killed, and you can see his blood splattered everywhere. So the other side of that tablet has blood on it, which would indicate that that was the side that was visible when that person got killed. So it doesn't take too much detective work to figure out, but nevertheless, some people, it might not have really made sense. So anyway, go ahead and go down that tunnel, and you'll notice that you get transported to the hospital. Immediately turn around and you can find map fragment 14 right behind you. And now you're just going to make your way down this long hallway. You're going to come to a room where Dr. Jimenez is with Leslie, and that's going to trigger kind of a long cutscene. I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes long, and then we'll get into the very last of the gameplay.
Doc, what the hell is going on?
There's no time. I need to figure out how to reverse this if we're going to stop him.
Who? This Ruvik guy? Who the hell is he?
I'm sorry, I have to find this.
I can't help if you leave me in the dark, Doc. And you need me to help.
We were working on a method. How can I explain this? It's like linking brains together. Showing everything on an electrochemical level. Emotion, memory, perception, everything. Directly. It's unprecedented. The implications on psychology, on pharmaceuticals, on consciousness itself.
Are you serious? It's a fucking nightmare.
Well, I didn't say it was perfect. Especially not with such a unstable host.
Great. So your research partner is a psychopath. And we're all inside his head.
Not exactly, no. All of us are contributing on some level. But he's the only one with conscious influence.
You know how he thinks. What does he want?
Well, it's just a theory, but I'd say he wants us dead.
Alright, so as soon as you gain control of Sebastian, you're going to look around this room for a little bit. There's a key in here, there's a file in here, and then we're just going to have to run away from the Amalgam Alpha boss. I think that's how you say it, Amalgam. So that is a boss that we are not going to actually fight until the end of Chapter 10. So if you end up seeing this boss and thinking, oh man, I wish I could turn around and fight it, never fear, just be patient, and in 2 chapters you'll be regretting that decision. No, actually, in all honesty, that boss fight is pretty simple. It's actually one of the easier parts of Chapter 10, believe it or not. But anyway, so like I said, as you come to this hallway, the Alpha is going to appear behind you, and it's going to just chase you through the hallway, and that will lead you to the end of Chapter 8. So, as always, everyone, thank you for watching. I'm really glad you're enjoying this walkthrough. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Any questions, any concerns, any recommendations, anything like that. And yeah, see you in Chapter 9.